Buddy, I am going to do the last part of this set of animations. Well, maybe the last part, depending on how much time I have. But as far as keyframes for the character go, this will be the last part. So I want to do a recovery frame for both the standing electric attack and the crouching electric attack. Recovering means going back to the idle pose. So what I'm going to do right now actually is copy this idle pose. I'm going to duplicate that and then move it in here. Right over here. It's kind of moving everything, but I'm going to put everything back in place. There, let's move that there. Move this frame here. Right over here. And then move that there. Whoops. There. Shoot. It actually ended up moving everything. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to move everything back to where it was. Hold on. There was actually a smoother way to do that because everything ended up moving, and there's a better way to do this. Hold on. Okay, so what I'm going to do, we only need one frame, so I'm actually going to make this smaller before I duplicate it. So duplicate there, and then move this little one into that blank space. Come on, grab it. There we go. Right in there. Okay, cool. Now I can make that bigger. And then return this one back to size. There we go. Okay, so now let's take a look at that. Make sure the recovery frame is in there. Yeah, it's in there. So, what is this? Oh, this is the recording feature. Okay, so I like this. This was like one of the original startup frames that I did, but I went away from the startup frame. But I'm glad I kept it because I think it works well as a recovery frame because he is shifting his foot back to idle. But what I'm going to do instead is kind of move this to where it would be closer to this position. So his left leg... Well, we're going to shift... We're going to think about the way he's shifting his leg. Because I'm going to move him over here. Because I think we're going to let him just kind of change in place. And let's actually move this idle pose like over here. Something like this. He would probably step back slightly after the attack. I think that would be logical. Slightly step back. So this leg would be kind of back here. So just a quick shift in his legs. So this back leg is actually stepping forward slightly. Like he pushed the guy back, so he's not going to retreat all the way back and step back to his original position. He's going to shuffle a little bit. Actually, if he's going to shuffle, though, I think he can be more forward. Yeah, and we'll move this one like a little bit more forward there because he's shuffling on that leg. So now we just need a sketch in between here. This really reminds me of that Naruto ending called Yura Yura, where Naruto is like fighting other characters with his silhouette. This frame really reminds me of that. Leave a comment if you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so with this, we're going to bring his head up, and then let's see. I always want to start with the three major forms. The torso up is going to come up here. I know his torso is small and thin, small frame. His pelvis is going to be coming up this way as he's rotating back. Hold on, isn't this supposed to be 2 frames? Yeah, I think it should be faster, so maybe 1 frame each. We can feel it out. Let's feel that. Yeah, I think 1 frame is fine. Yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna get that hip rotation and torso rotation. His torso actually is like fully rotated the other way, so maybe it's still kind of in the middle of a rotation here. And he's pulling his arm back, so his arm's going to be about right here. And then this arm's going to be coming down. This is really an in-between, you know. Sometimes when it's an in-between like this, it's not very stylish. So I want to make sure the pose like looks good still, even though it's an in-between. Well, what happened to my brush here? Okay. Yeah, we still want this to look kind of stylish. So we still want to keep that cool, relaxed feeling of Killua. So this back leg is shifting forward. So maybe he kind of hops a little bit. Yeah, kind of hopping a little bit might be good. Yeah, so kind of lifting this leg up. And then having this leg kind of... Yeah. I want to relax everything, relax the arms. So I didn't have a topic of discussion today. We can improvise it. So I'm going to speak generally. So my inspiration, obviously, for a show like this, since I've been able to upload consistently lately, and the show length has been consistent as well. And I'm using the word show, you know, because I want it to be kind of like a consistent show where I work on my stuff and you guys watch, and I encourage you to draw with me. I forgot to say that in the beginning of the video. If you are, you know, if you would like to whip out your tablets or sketchbooks, please feel free to draw with me. So I want to be able to say that and kind of make a routine, and make the show very appealing, like Bob Ross, because he is the GOAT. So if any YouTuber wants to be a YouTuber, you know, you might copy Mr. Beast's editing style. And I noticed like a lot of the top YouTube channels, they kind of have this crazy kind of ADHD feeling, like editing. It's like crazy fast edits and weird like emotional reactions, and trying to make you laugh with like the random editing. And a lot of the top videos are like that. I don't know, it somehow keeps your attention. But there is also the long form, long discussion. Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, shout out to, I guess, the Conservative Party or whatever, but just long form podcast. And I'm sure there are liberal podcasts too, but I just haven't seen any, where people just sit down and talk for a long time and people are interested in listening. Now, sort of the in-between is the TV show style, Bob Ross, Fred Rogers, warm, hang out for 20 to 30 minutes, relax, and listen to these guys share, you know, life and wisdom while doing some cute, relaxing activities, you know. And that's kind of what I want for myself. I'm a young guy still, and, you know, I have... the things that I have to share are not coming from wisdom. They're still coming from a person who is still kind of discovering how to live life. So that's a bit different in that I'm younger than Fred Rogers and Bob Ross. You know what? When you see them, you know, like Bob Ross is a veteran. Fred Rogers, I don't know if he's a veteran, but he's certainly seen some life, and he's able to explain things to kids, even like things that like death, and relationships, that he's able to unpack and share in a way that is like good for kids. So I don't plan on having a kid show, but just something where you guys can like really chill, and we can talk about life together. Like that's always been the vibe that I wanted for my Twitch stream, and now it's becoming the vibe that I want on my YouTube channel. I noticed that the more I stream and the more I record things, the more I kind of like come into my personality and just sharing of myself, the style that I like to do. So I've been really experimenting with like the banter and the topics in these videos, like really wanting to figure out like what is my style. I think this one might be more bent. Oh, shower repair. That guy came already. Do I have... Yeah, my iPad work, I guess it doesn't block Google Calendar notifications. I have a do not disturb feature here on the iPad that is supposed to block notifications. Okay, so I think that looks good. I think it's a one frame in between. I think we can go ahead and just kind of get in there and start drawing. So I'm gonna lower the opacity on the sketch. I will keep the onion skin there. We'll get in there with my technical pen. Make sure it's black. And we'll start drawing. And we will try to get these lines on the first try. Thinking of, well, hold on. Thinking of the angles and the forms. And the way that the head is rotating. The way that the body is rotating. Thinking about the position of the ears right now. And then the hair. We're going to let it flow forward a little bit because he's rotating that way. There's those little Killua strands. Because he's rotating that way, we're going to change the flow of the hair. I think there always should be a little bit more cranium in the back with Killua's hair. Let it stick up a little bit more in the back. Okay. So we'll try to find the rotation of his body now. Okay. What I would really like is to encourage comments on these videos. On a lot of my tutorial videos, I get a lot of comments. It's usually just people asking questions, but I want to engage in a discussion, you know, some kind of discussion where, even if it's a contentious discussion, like I've never minded talking about religion and politics on my Twitch stream, and I feel the same about my YouTube channel. I'm not afraid, you know. I want to keep it mostly safe, not because I'm not afraid of talking about stuff, but because I want, you know, this is a monetized channel and I don't want to get, you know, canceled, demonetized or whatever. And so usually I just prefer to talk about art, but I do like talking about life, and I have opinions on things, but I think for me, YouTube is not the place to do it. Twitch, I'm fine. I'm completely fine. But on YouTube, I guess I would rather play it safe because nowadays if you can say an opinion and people don't agree with it, all of a sudden you're a hater. So you know, it doesn't really matter which side of the political spectrum you're on. You can be considered a hater. You know, and again, I'm not afraid to share what my opinions are on things, but it's too dangerous to do it on YouTube, especially when I get an income on YouTube. But at the same time, there are people who will share their opinion on YouTube and they're fine. But they kind of set themselves up that way. My YouTube channel took off because it's an art tutorial channel and I just draw and talk. So I don't want to compromise that by making this too political or whatever. And then, I mean, political is not even the right word. I don't even have strong political opinions. I have strong moral opinions. I have strong, I guess, religious biases, but not political opinions. Bishop Barron put it really well. So he would ask, like, is the Catholic Church more liberal or conservative? And he said, the answer is that we're Catholic. Like, we have certain things that fall, like, within the categories of what the Conservative Party agrees with. But we have some things that the Conservative Party might not agree with, and the Liberal Party might agree with more. And all that aside, the American versions of the quote unquote conservative and liberal are really twisted versions of what they um, are originally meant to represent. Or rather, over time, like, the parties will kind of represent different things. Like he spoke a little bit about classical liberalism versus neoliberalism and kind of how that has changed, how the word liberalism has changed in what it means. And he talked about certain philosophers like Marx and Foucault and how they influenced the current Liberal Party to push the party beyond what its original scope was in, during the civil rights movement, which was freedom and equality. But now it's become, I don't really know how to describe it. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, yeah, I'm not a expert in describing these things. Just kind of describing what I've heard. That hand was off, so I'm going to try again. This elbow is bent. So, I think what I need to do is actually change the way the sleeve opens here, because the angle of the hand is coming toward us. So maybe we can get this thumb here, thumb right there, and then the fingers. They're not going to be very much angled. The palm is there. I know which way I'm angling the hand, but I just don't really draw this that much. But the fingers should be relaxed, actually, not straight. So we're going to kind of relax the fingers a little bit. This is the back of the hand. Here's the thumb. And then the fingers coming forward like that. The shape looks really awkward. What am I drawing? What the heck am I drawing? Okay, we gotta start that over. When in doubt, start over. Okay, the angle of the hand is here. The palm, we'll draw the palm first, can be right there. The thumb, gonna keep it relaxed. And then the fingers, kind of all in one chunk. And relaxed. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And we might honestly just stay with that. The thumb is coming out a little bit crazy, so let's move the thumb back there. This might be okay, just like that for now. I mean, again, it's one frame of an in-between, so not a huge deal. I don't want his eyebrows too high. We want Killua's eyebrows to always be relaxed but stern and calm. This eyelash can come up a little bit higher. Yeah, that's a good face. So we are gonna finish this frame and I think call it a video. So this one is looking good, flowing well. And then in the next video, we will finish the recovery frame for the crouching one. We're already almost done here. I tried to keep this frame smooth, or like the process of it smooth. Okay, the shirt is being tucked in right there, so the pants will flare out slightly at the top, and his belt will come more like right here. Yeah. Okay. Let's change that angle a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. And then this one will come down, coming from there, and then he's hopping slightly, so we will kind of bend those little, I use the word tassel a lot. That's not the right word. Hanging fabric. It's a tassel. I'm getting better at, like, I mean, it's still not good, but I'm getting better at finding the folds in the fabric from, you know, movements. At least understanding where the points of tension are. Okay. And then this one will kind of come that way because the fabric is coming from the right. I think this one would actually be coming from this way. This one, yeah, would kind of be coming that way a little bit more. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And then this back leg might be a bit of folding right in there. A bit more angular. Let's go a little bit more angular on this. Okay. Let's get those ankles and heels in. Almost done with the frame. So if I may ask, to anyone who has watched to the end of this video, which I know is very rare because I look at the stats, people usually stay for only a couple minutes. But to anyone who stayed to the end and listens, give me feedback. How can I be less boring? What topics do you want me to talk about? But I think less so about the topics, but like overall in general, how can I improve on the iterations of these videos? Because I consider each one an iteration, but I haven't really really sat and been like, how can I make this better, really better every single time? Okay. I think this is good enough. I think this looks good. Okay, the hair is a little bit too small on this recovery frame. So I can never underestimate the size of a Hunter x Hunter cranium. So let's upsize it a little bit. Get a little bit more spikes in here. Okay, I think that's good. This looks good. He's hopping slightly. Now this foot is actually too low. It actually goes below the ground plane. So let's fix that. We're just gonna draw the foot first. And then we will, we can go higher. Yeah, then we'll find the fabric from there. Okay. Of course I'm asking for feedback, and maybe I'm just greedy for comments, I don't know, but I should also have the capacity to think of it on my own. it's just my thinking out loud, you know, and I need to maybe refine my thinking out loud so that it's actually of value to you guys, really of value. Okay, that's good. So we're gonna copy this layer now, get in the bottom one and start doing that white silhouette. So I'm gonna get rid of the onion skin for now, hide the sketch layer, stay in this bottom layer, take a white studio pen, and just start getting in here into the borders. I kind of want to erase this little piece coming off. Little piece right under here. Let's erase that. Okay, so now we'll stay in this bottom layer here, and we will try to close out all the borders so that I can do a solid color drop. Just looking around the whole thing. Might start a little bit in here. Yeah. Get in here, the hands. Get here in the shirt. Yep, nice. Yeah, the color drop was successful. Color drop is quite satisfying when you are able to do it well. It is actually, so I really got used to the Krita fill tool, and the color drop I always thought was like not quite as intuitive, but it's just that when I use a program for a really long time, everything becomes intuitive. So if I spend, 5 more years using Procreate, then it's going to be solid. I'm sure my process will be solid and I'll be used to it. Will I still have inefficiencies that are better in Krita? Maybe, but maybe not. Maybe I can get past that. Okay, let's feel this one. That's a nice frame. That's a nice looking frame. That worked really well. I like that. So let's take a look now at how that recovery frame looks. It's a little bit slow, right? So is that one frame? It is. You know what? As good looking as that frame is, I don't know if it works. Let's try with just one of either frame. I'm going to move them around a little bit. Let's use the one I just made. Wow, it might even look better with one recovery frame, but let's take the one that I made before and see how that one looks. I mean, it's not quite as dynamic, right? So the frame that I made is superior to this one, but I don't want to waste either one. But you know what? Sometimes if you in animation, you just got to be not afraid. Sometimes you will waste frames. But was it all for naught? No, I think the frame we made today was better. Let's move that one back in place. But still, it's still possible that both can be used. It just seems more to flow better for it to be only one frame of recovery. And let's look again, see what it looks like with 2 frames of recovery. Now again, the developer is animating at 60 FPS, so he could use both. And I am animating at 15 FPS for these, which is basically 4 frames in game. I think it looks fine. It just looks like either one of the frames was like unnecessary. But I think it looks fine. We're going to go here now. We're going to start setting up for our next video, which is going to be from... so I'm going to duplicate this one. It's going to be from the attack... Whoa. I'm going to make sure that's small. And then I'll duplicate it. Okay. And I'll move this one at the end here. Leave some open space. We're going to go from the crouch attack, recovery frame right here. And I think we'll learn from that last one, and 1 is enough. 1 frame is going to be enough. So I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys liked that video. I'll talk to you all later. God bless. Bye-bye.